Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Welcome all of you in the class 8, those who are joining the computer science subject. And I hope you have decided you want to be an engineer or you want to be a doctor. Remember one thing and keep in mind you must have to decide which combination you want to be select, either computer science or either biology, because in since class 8 we have two combinations. One is biology, another one is computer science. And I hope so that your parents must guide you. You want to be a doctor or you want to be an engineer. So if you want to be an engineer, you can join the computer subject as well. But if you want to be a doctor, then you must join the biology. Remember one thing, don't watch your friends. Don't watch your friend means your friend, if your friend is sitting in the biology class and you say, I will sit in the biology class, then it means that you are disheartening yourself. In the future, it will be difficult for you because your mind says you will become an engineer. And later, if you want to be an engineer, then you must select the computer science combination. Number one thing. Number second, you take the classes of computer as well as biology few days, so no problem. But as soon as possible, you must decide which combination you want to be select. Now I comes to the real topic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Watch here at the screen. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. As you know that this is Pakistan International School, Taif, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, virtual learning system. Virtual learning means through internet you are learning and you're sitting at the home and you're learning the educational purpose. So comes to the topic, this online class. This is class 8. As you know that we called it class 9 junior also. Subject is most important over here. This is subject of computer science and this is our first lecture. As you know that teacher name is Imran Ahmad. So comes to the topic, watch over here. This is computer book for class, although this is for class 9 student, but since we have started this course of class 9 in the class 8, so this is your the title page of computer science book. One thing is important over here. Most of the student use the books of Punjab textbook board, KPK textbook, or whatever they want to be. But for your federal board of examination, this is your course book. So you must purchase this book from from the bookshop of our school library. So over here, keep in mind this book is for the National Book Foundation and Federal Board, Islamabad. Now comes to our real topic, which is the chapter number 1, Fundamentals of Computer. What is the meaning of fundamental of computer? Means basics of computer. Basics of computer. In this chapter, we will touch each and everything which are related to the computer. We will teach each and everything which are related to the computer. Let's say, for example, the things which we are discussing in this chapter is for introduction to the computer. That in the introduction, evolution of computer. Evolution of computer means that computer is not made at once. Computer not made at once. It is made of stages by stages and devices by devices. Devices by devices means, so first of all, computer is not made at once. You can say that there are different devices which was made before the computer. One was abacus, slide rule, Napier-Bonds, Pascaline, whatever. Many devices are there before the computer. So evolution of computer. Then we will discuss history of computer. then types of computer, classification of computer, up to so on. After this, role of computer, what is the role of computer in our life? Then computer hardware, computer software, basics operations of computer, then computer software, application software, whatever. So all the things which are related with the computers, we will discuss in this chapter. Now, in this chapter, not only in this chapter, in the class 9, each and every chapter, at the end of each and every chapter, there are three things are present. Number one, MCQs. Number two, short question and answer. Number three, long question and answer. For the short question, there are 10 short question and answer for each chapter, and the 5 long question and answer for the each chapter. So most of the short question and long question cover the contents of the whole chapter. So don't worry, we are studying the why we're doing the exercise first. This topic is, if any topic is not included in the exercise and it is present at the content of the book or in the content of the chapter, then we will discuss it at the end of the chapter. Don't worry about this one. Now comes to the real topic. Write the short answer of the following questions. There, I told you, there are 10 short questions are present at the end of each chapter. So this is the first short question, which is describe the Napier bonds and slide rule. So I told you this is the evolution of computer. Before the computer, many devices were present over there. So first of all, we will describe the Napier bond and then we will describe the slide rule. Let's say Napier bonds. What is? Watch over here the diagram. Keep this diagram in your mind. So we will discuss this diagram over here. As you know that the name of this device is Napier bond. So this device, who invented? He was John Napier. Invented a calculating device called Napier bond in 1614. One thing must be noted about these topics whenever they ask for any device. So you must keep in mind the three things: the person who invented and the date on which date the device was invented, and its, you can say that, how it is made of. So we will discuss these three things over here. I told you John Napier make this device in 1614. It consisted of wooden box, as you show watching over here in the diagram. This is wooden box containing rotating cylinder. Watch over here. This is the rotating cylinder inside the box. These are the rotating cylinder. How they rotate? With the help of this pulleys, they rotate these cylinders, each of which had the digits. At the each cylinder, there are 9 total 10 digits were there from 0 to 9. So counted 0 to 9, there are 10 digits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to so. So each cylinder containing 0 to 9 digits. Over here also 0 to 9 digits, over here also 0 to 9 digits, over here. So each and every cylinder containing 0 to 9. What is the purpose? Now comes to the purpose of this device. The purpose of this device is it could multiply, divide, and find the square root of a number by using simple addition and subtraction. With the help of addition and subtraction, this device can calculate the multiplication, division, and square root of the number. His biggest achievement was the invention of logarithm. Whose biggest achievement? John Napier. So at the last, he invented the logarithm, which you will study. I hope you have studied the logarithm table in mathematics also. So this is the device which is called the Napier bonds. This device is called the Napier bond. Next is slide rule. Next one is slide rule. Watch over here the diagram. A person holding the pencil at the paper, he have a slide rule. So he is doing some kind of calculation over here. So don't worry what the teacher is doing over here. So over here, he is doing some kind of calculation. He is performing some calculation with the digits and the number. Slide rule based on the idea of logarithm. In the previous Napier-Bonds, I told you that the logarithm was developed. So slide rule based on the basis of that one. Who make this one? English mathematician. So logarithm is based on the mathematics. So English mathematician William Author developed a device called slide rule in 1920s. So who make it and whom, on which date it was made? So William Author made this slide rule on date of 1920s. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose and how it is made of? It was very useful for solving problem that involved multiplication and division. So this device was used for the multiplication and division purpose. It has the three parts: slide, rule, and transparent sliding cursor. Watch over first of all transparent sliding cursor. This is called the sliding cursor. Slide. So this is with this slide cursor move along with this. We can with the help of thumb and finger we can move this cursor up, right and left. So we can move this one. It has three parts: slide. So this one you can see that this is slide. This one is also a ruler over there, and sliding cursor. This is the sliding cursor. So this was our first short question, which was differentiate or describe Napier-Bonds and slide rule. Now comes to the next question, which is compare first and third generation of computer. So don't worry about this one, that where is the second generation gone in the first, although this question will also repeated at the in the long question, which says explain all the generations of computer. So we will discuss second generation, third generation, first generation, fourth generation, fifth generation in the long question also, because this is the exercise question. So we will solve it over here. Compare first and third generations of computer. So first generation computer, keep in mind one thing: first generation, its duration. First generation duration was 1940 to 1956. Don't worry about this one, that where is the duration, why not between these two are using. So it is used nowadays. Why it is not used? It is used in this duration because after this second generation computer was developed. So when the second generation was finished, so third generation was started. The duration of first generation was 1940 to 1956. What are the characteristics of first generation of computer? The characteristics of first generation of computer is that first generation computer used vacuum tubes. Watch over here. This is the technology they use: vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes. I told you the example of vacuum tube. If you have an old kind of television at your home, watch here. Why ever you think why nowadays LCD and LEDs are very thin, and previous the television was very fatty or very thick? Because at the back side of each television there was vacuum tube was present. We can say that if you have visit in our computer lab, then you say that there we are using still that monitors which have the vacuum tubes. So vacuum tubes is used in the first generations of computer. First generation of computer use the vacuum tubes. Number one, this is a major technology of at that time in 1940 and 1956. So second characteristics, it's also its drawback: speed was slow and memory was very small. Number one thing, speed was slow and memory was very small. What does it mean? If you are taking this computer and you power on the computer, So it will take your 1 hour to start up the that computer. So that was, at that time, it was the good achievement at that time, but it was very, very slow. So nowadays, if I see this computer, so I better to leave the computer than don't join this one thing next time. So speed was slow and memory was very, very small. Memory small means we cannot store our data on this computer. For example, we cannot store our videos, images, text, and so on. We cannot store because its memory was very small. You can say that up to bytes it has the memory, not in megabytes. Nowadays we are using and we are saving our data terabytes. So at that time it was only store bytes of characters only. Computer consumed more electricity. The next drawback of this generation of computer is it consume more electricity. Nowadays it is big problem for ordinary person that the why electricity bills are coming very high. So at that time, if I use nowadays, if we use this kind of computer nowadays, so electricity meter goes up within within a minute. So that consume much electricity. Large in size, another problem. Large in size, for example, we cannot accommodate this computer in a single room. We need a big hall to accommodate this computer and place this computer in a big hall. Another also, expensive. Expensive means so an ordinary person cannot purchase this computer. So you can say that it was the computer of the richest person. And unreliable computer. Next drawback is also unreliable, means at anytime you did nothing to this computer, but automatically its power will can be off. So it is unreliability of the computer. Next property or next characteristics of first generation of computer is input was based on punch cards. Input was based on punch card. With the help of punch card means typewriting machine. If you have seen, there is punching machine. So we can input this to this computer with the help of punch card. Output was obtained on printouts through electric typewriter. Output. So how can input? Okay, we have solved the input problem, that punch card input to that computer, but output was obtained on the printouts. Printouts means we cannot see a soft copy. We don't have the monitor at that time. We cannot save the monitor at that time. So the output was printing at the paper. But with the help of electric typewriting machine. Electric typewriting machine means, if you have seen the old kind of television dramas, so they use the typewriting machine over there. Like I can say that this was like to the electric typewriting machine is just like a keyboard, but it was very difficult to use and it was very hard to punch a single key. Next was Next drawback or next is feature is machine language was used in this computer. So this is the major drawback of that kind of computer, machine language. What is machine language? You are worried about the over here. What is machine language? Machine language means our computer understand only two symbols, and these two symbols or characters are 1 and 0. These two symbols are 1 and 0. Nothing can understand by any other character. For example, you will be worried about this one. We will typing A, B, C, D, whatever we want to type, but our computer understand what 0 and 1. Then how is it possible? Our computer understand this language ABC, alphabets or number or whatever you have typed. So in the 10th, when you will come, there is another topic, code conversion. Code conversion is the most important code conversion is ASCII. ASCII stands for American Standard Coded Information Interchange. Let's say, don't confuse about this topic, about the machine language. Let's say I press A, capital A. The ASCII code of capital A is 65. Now, 65, to convert the 65 into binary form, what will be the result? It could be not a sure, it could be 100101, like this one, 8 digit it comes. So the ASCII code of A is 65, and computer automatically translate the 65 into binary form or machine language, which could be 10010 up to so on this one. So this is the major drawback of that first generation of computer. So in the first generation, keep in mind the duration of this one. It was used in 1940 to 1956. Now comes to the third generation of computers, and its duration was 1967 to 1971. Nowadays we are not using this kind, both generation of the computer. Let's say first generation is also discarded, third generation is also discarded, but these are the development of the computer. So first feature of third generation of computer is, third generation computer use IC chips. Over here you see they use the vacuum tubes, and now in the third generation computer they use the IC chips. IC means integrated circuits, use integrated circuits. So in the second characteristics of this one is IC chips improve the speed and the memory of computer. In the first generation, speed was very slow and memory was very small. Over here, IC chips improved. Still, it is low, but they have improved as compared to the first generation computer. IC chips improve the speed and the memory of computer. So memory means we can save our data much more, save our data as compared to the first generation computer. And its speed, if the computer taking to start, if the first generation computer taking to start, let's say 10 minutes, so it will take 5 minutes to start. Third, computer consumed less electricity. As compared to this one, it was consume more electricity, it consumed less electricity. Become smaller, became smaller. So the size of first generation computer was large in size, and it is the smaller than the first generation computer. Another best feature of third generation computer as compared to first generation was, it is cheaper. Cheaper means an ordinary person can get this computer, if but still they are very costly, because at the year of 2001 I purchased Pentium computer at the cost of 30,000 rupees. 30,000 at the cost. And when 2001, when the Pentium first Pentium was introduced. Nowadays the computer are used Core i9 and like this one, are you Core i7, Core i3, up to so on. So smaller and cheaper and more reliable than first generation. Then reliability means, so it was unreliable means at any time the computer can be stopped, but it was reliable. They put the stabilizer with this, so the data cannot be, if the light breakdown, with the help of stabilizer, the our data, we can save our data. It can give us a chance to save your data in the third generation computer. Number four, keyboard and monitor were used with the computer. Over here, input and output was on the basis of punch card and printouts through typewriter. But over here, keyboard and monitor. Monitor means computer screen is called monitor. Computer screen is called monitor. So don't think the monitor which who monitor your class or this one. So monitor is the output device. Keyboard and monitor were used with the computer. At that kind of computer, at that generation of computer, they used, the first time they introduced the keyboard and monitor, and still we are using these two devices, input devices, keyboard and monitor. Number 5, these computer could run different application program at the same time. This is the main important and major point about this generation. Could run different application programs. Application programs means at the same time, watch here, you are watching this presentation, and at the back end another program is running, which is Zoom. So I am using two program at the same time. So at that generation, but in this generation we cannot use those two or three programs at the same. Only we can use one program at the same time. But in this generation we can use two or three or four or up to so on, how many depends upon the RAM of the computer. So this computer could run different application programs at the same time. I give you another example. You're listening the music as well as watching the text, and another we are playing also the game over there. So three or four programs you can run at the same time. So this is the comparison of first and third generation of computer. So in the second generation we use the transistor. We will discuss it in the later, and I hope you will understand both of the question and you will do the practice and revise all of this. Okay, take care and stay home, and the Allah Hafiz till the next lecture.